a freelancer. I'm involved into graphic designs, social media management, and marketing. I also do annotation. I work with platforms like Canva, Remote Task. Though last night I couldn't be able to log in, but we know that it will be sorted. Yeah, so I was trained by DRC, Danish Refugee Council, into online work. And later I met Ajira, also trained me in other dimensions of online work. And that's what I do fully. For us, the refugee community living in Kenya, working online presents a great opportunity because of our limitation in documentation, like work permit and many other documents that may be needed for someone to have maybe a business outside there. So online working presents a very great opportunity whereby you can just be in your room and you can do some works and still earn a living. Yeah, so that's what I do. And for the thousands of refugees outside there, I think this online working is a great opportunity for us because it gives us that freedom. It gives us, it bridges some limits that we have. There are challenges. I know we'll talk about it later. But for now, I think.
Thank you, Patient. I'll now go back to Virginia. Virginia, tell us, what was your experience really and the transition from the conventional 8 to 5 after COVID and now getting into freelance work? What has been your experience? What are some of the challenges that you've faced and how have you tackled those?
Okay, I can say that my experience has been so good in terms of striking a balance between my personal work and my personal life. And I can say that that has been a big opportunity for me to explore so many opportunities out there, because at least I have the time in my hands. I can schedule my own activities. I can decide maybe to work at night and maybe during the day do other beneficial things for my family. So many advantages, in fact, because when I look at when I used to be a teacher, there was sometimes I couldn't even foot my bills, but through online opportunities, through online freelancing, I've been able to foot my bills without so much hassle. I've been able even to employ some young youths to come and help me out. I've been able to set up a business. I do sell computers and laptops. And I can say that the successes are there. I cannot complain so much because I have been getting satisfaction from it. Now, when we talk about the challenges, there's a big elephant in the room when it comes to challenges. And the biggest challenge in the room is accessing these platforms. And especially being a Kenyan, it has been really, really difficult to access some platforms. And these are the platforms that are very well paying. Like I used to work in rev.com as a captioner and as a transcriber. But after some time, after some months, we were kicked out just by the fact that we are Kenyans. And I can't really fathom the reasons. Maybe it's bias, maybe it's our nationality. We've not been able to really know why we are not able to access these platforms as Kenyans. The other challenge is the competitiveness of the jobs. Sometimes you get a platform that will accept you as a Kenyan, but once you're logging in, within a few minutes, you're tapping on a job to start working and the job is gone. So the competition out there is so much. So I can say that we have had our fair share of challenges. We've had our share of successes. And as Kenyans, we persevere. We have to get by. We have to work. We have to push on despite the challenges. So those are just but a few of the challenges. I know there are many, but just a few.
Thank you, Virginia. I'll throw it to patient. As a non-Kenyan or a Congolese living in Kenya, what do you feel are some of the challenges? Virginia just shared what Kenyans are experiencing, but how is it for the non-Kenyans?
Okay, there's a lot of challenges, but there are those ones that are main problem. The first one, working online, this platform at some point they need to verify your identity to know that this is a real person. We are not dealing with a robot here. So at some point they'll ask you to stay somewhere on a camera with your ID. All these, they want to confirm and verify your account. And sometimes we have some alien ID. Some of us have papers, asylum seekers. You can imagine if the platform yours and the worker, the freelancer is standing with a long paper asylum seeker as a document, you'll not trust them, obviously. So these are some of the challenges. It's our wish if Kenya can just go a step ahead. They have already done a lot to host us and actually Kenya is one of the best host community for refugees. So we are grateful for that. But if they can just go another step ahead to give us the opportunity to contribute to the economy of the country, maybe to resettle. Some people are willing to be resettled in Kenya and have a Kenyan ID, be Kenyan, and work and continue with their life. So if we reach that point, I think that documentation will be breached. Another thing is mode of payment. Sometimes some platform can directly relate with M-Pesa, or maybe from PayPal to M-Pesa or to bank account. Again, our identification may not allow us to have M-Pesa. That's the government policy. So that one limits us also when it comes to payment accessibility. You may have to use someone's number, and you know it creates problems because the money will be sent to someone else. So those are some of the challenges, and I think the government can look into that. There are good citizens here who are refugees, thousands of them. They have been trained by different NGOs who are here, different organizations, and they are ready to work and ready to contribute to the economy. Another challenge maybe would be what my sister have said, but I'll put it in another angle, access to these platforms. There are countries that are known to be reliable when it comes to online working, so that the people who have the jobs, they know if this person is in America, they will deliver the job. They trust them. But for Kenya, we are not yet there. I like what the president is doing, trying to sell Kenya and portray Kenya as a digital work hub. I mean, he's doing good, but there's another step maybe that could have been done for the government to create a platform whereby we have freelancers there who are verified, who are traceable, who can be produced if in case of fraud or anything. So the people, the job owners can trust the freelancers who will be found on that platform. That way, we'll portray ourselves as a serious community and a serious country for online workers. So in that way, I think we will boost a bit our confidence as Kenya, and people will know that in Kenya, you can have reliable freelancers because they are verified by the government, they can be produced, they can be traced. So if we don't do that now, people go for alternative and shortcuts. And you know Kenyans are very good. They can, wanaweza jipanga, sindio? And shortcuts, then we cannot even talk about it here. So that makes the platform like Remote Task, I see the other day, it has deactivated its services in Kenya. The government can advocate for that, but if you follow up, you'll notice that maybe they have discovered some fraud somewhere. There are a lot of countries that have been banned for some platform, but it's because of fraud. So if the government can make an official platform whereby these are our workers, these are verified freelancers, they have been tested, they have maybe a digital badge somewhere to just prove that this person is well known by the government, it will boost us a lot, and it will.
Thank you very much. I think very insightful, a lot of information, good information coming in. I'll throw it back to Montent again. And Virginia talked about skills and the competitiveness of for example, the digital workspace. And I'm wondering, from your experience and with the kind of work you're doing with the young people and understanding data, visualizing and being able to use it, what are some of the skilling opportunities and, in fact, work opportunities that are there that the young people can take advantage of, also to expand their portfolios?
Okay, thank you for that question. So I'm going to read some data. to just help answer the question. So 96% of African CEOs are concerned by the lack of key skills of their people, while 43% agree retraining is necessary to close the skills gap. 69% feel existing solutions don't. When it comes to technology, technology has both sides. Technology is a beautiful thing. I think that all of us need to embrace it. But the problem is if we don't realize that technology is here and advancing and to stay, and we still have fixed mindset of how you go around skilling and learning certain skills required as technology evolves. So when it comes to jobs, and this is what we see even in the recruitment side, I'll speak on the opportunity and the challenges. The opportunity as Kenyans right now is we are a young nation. We are young, like we are a youthful nation, meaning that the rich world, you know, if you look at the numbers in terms of age, the median age of in Europe, in the US, all these places, people are old, meaning opportunity is now becoming bigger in terms of people getting jobs, like the type of jobs you're discussing. But then here's the challenge. We have conversations with people who are looking for tech talent in Kenya, and then we get to the point of even connecting the young people to the companies for interviews. During interviews, there's a shift in mindset that I encourage young people to start thinking about, is we are so used to, in our communication, to mix our English and Swahili, right? So you're in an interview and you hear someone saying, ile kitu, and they're trying to explain themselves. So even as the opportunity is rising in terms of international jobs, that means even for us as young people, we need to recognize as we're going there and asking for the big money and the big what, you need to upskill. You need to learn how to communicate well, to negotiate well. You need to be able to rise to the occasion. When it comes, so in jobs, I would say the soft skills are still a gap area because, and then also now, 2 years ago, software engineering was a very hot topic. Everyone was looking for software engineers everywhere. Right now, the narrative has shifted. Now people are looking for specific skills, cyber security, analyst. So you can already see there's a shift. So it's encouraging everyone to move and to, first of all, do your research, find out what are the skills, the top skills needed across Kenya and also abroad for jobs. Then there are so many companies offering short courses, short certifications. I know Kenyans, we love hearing, can I get a certificate after? And I get it, but some of these places, they don't need to see the papers anymore. They want to see what you can do. So I think I'll still kind of push the narrative of upskilling, both from an individual perspective, but also for organizations to push their people to upskill instead of letting them go. So I don't know if I've captured your question.
You have, and thank you very much. You've brought out a very interesting factor, the fact that Kenya is a very youthful country with actually about 75% of the population being young people. And then you've also brought in the element of software development. Benaya here is a software developer, he's a lawyer, he's a business owner, he's also into the social change space. And I'm wondering, Benaya, if you could tell us, as an entrepreneur and someone who is in the development space, software development or solutions development, what is your experience and what are the specific
I think just as
Even talking about the startup space or the entrepreneurship space here in Kenya, we've seen a lot of investment, a lot of organizations coming to sort of invest and support startups in the country, grants, pitch competitions, and the likes. Um, some of the key challenges that we're facing, I think, that have also been, highlighted is number one, of course, for instance, when you're looking at the fintech space, is you're talking about regulation, right? So paid, for instance, is required to have the same licenses that, say, a company like M-Pesa has. M-Pesa has been around for 20 years. CBK doesn't have a sandbox. So you see, paid is like 1 year old. Paid has like 100 times probably less or more less the funding that M-Pesa has, but you're required to have the same standards that these guys have. Another key challenge that we have, of course, is as much as there is there are all these opportunities for funding and there's this capital flowing into the continent and into the country, you can't we still aren't where when you look at like Europe or the US, you find startups raising good money that can help them grow with ideas, but here it's entirely different. If I go to a local investor or a local angel investor today with an idea, they'll be like, what's your traction? How many customers do you have? How much money have you made so far? So you need money to make money, but you don't have this money as well, right? So that makes it's a chicken and egg problem as well. But then even beyond that, as I've mentioned, there are very many opportunities for startup founders, right from the fact that there is access to, there's easy access, as Montet has mentioned, there's easy access to most of these skills that you need to start and build a product. Means that you can literally start with nothing, right? You just need to have the skills to get started. And even beyond that, there are a lot of sort of opportunities and organizations that are coming in to give out these like grants and pitch opportunities. A good example is Mozilla. By the time Mozilla was sort of investing the 4 million in us, Paid was entirely an idea stage startup. We had not built a product. We didn't have initial users. We only had a wait list. So there are a lot of these opportunities that founders can already tap into. And I think the beauty, or like the big opportunity again, that supporting startups, and providing them with an enabling environment to build and grow, provides the fact that if Paid at the moment, Paid has a team of 10. So that's 10 freelancers that have jobs. 10 young people, skilled young people who already have jobs, right? Including myself, of course. So the more we support the ecosystem, the startup ecosystem, the more opportunities you're creating for jobs. And, the more we are also encouraging other young people to sort of look into this direction, the direction of freelance and entrepreneurship as a direction of building and growing themselves.
Thank you, Benaya. I think that is quite another load of really great insights. And as I see the co-founders here, or the entrepreneurs, and trying to imagine how inclusive is their workforce. And that brings me to you, Winfred. When you were working, or you were running your business as a digital marketer, the entrepreneurship that you mentioned, what were some of the challenges that you're facing? And did you at some point feel like your challenges were more or lesser as a differently abled person?
Yeah, because when I was in Merpole, I used to sell some lollipops because you have to provide funds for yourself. You should buy. You are not provided food at school. So walking long distance, it could make me tired since my legs are not balanced. I started with lollipop. After there, I started with my dance, which I was developed with my friends to take them in cubes, which were hostels, and we used to climb stairs. We didn't have electricity for climbing or anything else to help us to sell. We used to go hostel per hostel, selling them, which made me more tired. And after that, I used to go to sleep so that I can rest. After there, we started selling some clothes at Makutano, where we could not get any seat. I used to stand there for long, which made me even more tired. But from there, I graduated. I left school, and I started at C school. And when I'm with Ajira, it is difficult to get some bundles to continue with mentorship. So I'm coping with those problems even now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. These are the challenges of we can start.
I think in terms of a recommendation, I would say the future of work is the young people. So representation matters. So my challenge would go back to all the, leaders who might be in this room, is when you're really thinking about the future and you're really thinking about the young people, do you actually have the type of spaces in your organizations and companies that allow representations? Like, for example, if you have a board, do we have someone under 35 in that board?
About the organizations or marketing and how things are made there and how to cope when you get a job or when you start your own marketing, and you will be able aware to know about challenges, what will face. Will face some different customers who might bully you, so that you will be able to cope with them, so you will not be there to argue with them, but to know and understand them.
Wow, thank you. Virginia?
As I can say, like my friend Montet has said, the future of work in Kenya is the young people. We have so much potential. And so my recommendation is maybe to urge the government, maybe to just get to those companies that are employing remotely. Just talk to them, lobby for us. We kindly request. We have so much trust in our leaders. We have so much trust in our government. And we know if they just take a little step, talk to these guys, we can get work. What I know is that Kenyans have potential. The youth in Kenya have so much potential. In most of these sites, it's Kenyans that are doing well, as in terms of delivering quality jobs. And so if I may pose a recommendation or a suggestion, I'd just like to request kindly lobby for us. The jobs are there. It's only that we are being discriminated for a reason, or maybe because, like a patient has said, the government has not lobbied for us. If you lobby for us, we are so sure we cannot let you down. We are so sure that the story of unemployment in Kenya will be a thing of the past. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Benaya?
I think, again, the future of work is us, the young people. My recommendation would be the government and all stakeholders need to provide an enabling environment for, number one, of course, for the gig workers, the direct gig workers themselves, and even for those who are creating opportunities or those who have the potential to create opportunities for gig work, to make gig work easy for gig workers. So you see right from the challenges, for instance, in the platforms. If an entrepreneur somewhere is enabled enough, they can be able to build a platform that can provide a solution that patient was mentioning. If paid is provided with the opportunity, for instance, there are over 6,000. We have over 6,000 users right now who had a challenge with receiving payments because of the challenges with PayPal, Pioneer, and the likes. But today they are able to receive payments easily from their gigs. So if you enable entrepreneurs,
we have people who are trained, they are ready. But it's also another thing to make sure to tell the world where to find those people. So again, the government to have a centralized platform that is approved, that is verified, whereby the job owners can trust. They know this is a government-approved platform. Yeah, that one will be great. And also for us as refugee and for many refugees who are outside there, I'll say again, the government and the stakeholders to look into our case. It's not fair for 15 years someone is living in this country. They have never been involved in any crime, any other thing, and they are still being reminded you are a refugee. I think it's just easy to resettle them and allow them to contribute to the economy and continue with their life. Because that's what other countries do. When we are resettled, when a refugee is resettled from Kenya maybe to the USA, after 5 years they are given citizenship, they continue with their life. So I think that one will help us even in the documentation area, and what my brother is saying here about the payment will be made easy. Even for the government, it will even help them to regulate this platform. If you provided a platform where freelancers are, it is easy to know that this is a percentage that will be going to the government from all the work and all the freelancers who are on this platform. But it's sure, and I can assure, online work is paying. It's paying, it can be a full-time job, but now access to this platform and the trust that my sister is saying, Kenya has not reached that level of trust that all job owners around the world know that Kenyans, you have reliable freelancers. And actually, by the way, the people who do those works are here in Kenya, but they are not doing them as people in Kenya. They are doing as people in anyway. So in Kenya, we have good workers, we have well-trained people, but now the country have not raised to that level where international platform knows that Kenyans, we have reliable platform, reliable online workers. If you give them the job, they'll deliver. It will be straightforward. So that one is the part of the government, maybe to build that trust. Thank you.
Thank you very much. These are the voices of the young people. They are from all walks of, you can say, the career paths. They are entrepreneurs. They are they are freelancers. We have people from that are not Kenyan residents, persons able differently. And what are the young people saying? The young people are telling us that they have what it takes. They have the skills, they have the potential, they have the ambition, and they are putting themselves out there. And what they're asking from us, the different stakeholders seated here and beyond, is that they would need a bit of hand-holding. They would need a bit of someone to lobby for them, a fair regulation, a policy that would address, for example, the startups that are owned by the young people. So this is just the beginning of this discussion, but we believe that the voices of the young people have been heard, and this is a discussion that will be taken from not just the conversation, but to the implementation and sustainability. Thank you very much. Again, I'm Evelyn Kanywa. I was the moderator for this panel. Thank you very much for your audience.